And we are going to start with number 10 on that list, NBA superstar. You know who it is. Jokic, the Joker, and his Nuggets. And his teammate Jamal Murray led Denver to the West Finals last season before falling to the champs in the bubble. Max, you're up first. Do you think the Lakers should be worried about the Nuggets?
Potentially. Look, Jokic was balling out of control in the playoffs. This dude can get you into your offense as a center. Forget about his passing ability is absurd at his size. And he was doing things to other bigs where it was like, this dude's on a different level until he ran into Anthony Davis. Now, the Lakers' big two is more than a match for the Nuggets' big two, right? LeBron and AD are better than Jamal Murray and Jokic. However, a couple things happened in the offseason. The Lakers lost Rondo. You say, in the regular season it doesn't matter, and that's true. But in the playoffs, he's an all-star. Rondo's an all-star. Take an all-star off and hope that Schroeder can be that all-star in the playoffs. But even if it's an upgrade in the regular season, you're not sure about that. You don't know if Schroeder can do a Rondo in the playoffs. The playoffs are, Rondo knows all the plays. That's why he's so good in the playoffs. Like another coach in the, playoffs is coach's time, right? That's Rondo time. We'll see if Schroeder can replicate that when it matters most. But more importantly for the Nuggets guys are two things. One, Jamal Murray's still getting better. It's a scary proposition, but we saw him go from like a nice all-star player to an MVP caliber player in the playoffs. The dude is 22 years old. He's going to be 23 this year? I mean, there's a good chance that he continues to get better. So now think about Jamal Murray, but even better. Hard to imagine, right? But I think it's likely to happen. And then there's Porter Jr. It's one thing to have a big two. How many teams legitimately have a big three? If Porter Jr. continues to develop, and there's no reason to think based on his age he won't. He's not a defender, but he can score the ball. That makes the Nuggets live against anyone, even the Lakers.
Your opinion is it depends? They were just in the Western Conference
Got to see
Finals.
how Porter develops.
Make a decision. What do you mean it depends? You watched them. You saw them in the playoffs. You saw what Jamal Murray did. You saw what Jokic do. Will Barton's coming back. Is there a decision?
Yeah, here's the decision, Stephen A. We're all taking the Lakers. The question is, who's a threat? Can they be a threat?
Right.
The answer is yes. They can threaten the Lakers.
Thank you. So the answer is yes. It's
They're
not
a
it
threat.
depends.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Yes. They're a threat. I don't believe
if Porter Jr. doesn't develop, then the answer is no.
You know what, KP? Go
Max
ahead. I'm already annoyed with Max. Go ahead,
saying,
Kendrick. Just go ahead.
He all over the place.
There are variables.
He all over the place. But
all over the place.
But Max,
all over the place.
I mean, one
you
place,
all
you
over the place.
simpletons.
I didn't. No, but you didn't answer the question. So
We listened to you, Max. We heard you.
Are the Denver Nuggets a threat to the Lakers in the West? Hell no. Because look, even if the Lakers and the Nuggets were to match up in the playoffs, right? And in a perfect world, Jamal Murray and Jokic played great basketball. Anthony Davis and LeBron James played great basketball, and they washed each other out. Let's talk about the others. And Max, I heard you talk about Michael Porter Jr., right? Yeah, he could score. He's a walking bucket, but he can't guard a parked car. And he's a liability on the defensive end. So the 20 points that he's giving you on the offensive end, he's giving up 30 to 35 on the defensive end because they're picking on him every single time down the basketball court. Now, when you look at the Lakers, add Dennis Schroeder, add Montrezl Harrell. Yes, sometimes I wonder what the hell Kyle Kuzma is doing at times. Other times he could be great. KCP, who stepped his game up tremendously. Add Marc Gasol. And then now you have a 20-year-old stud who has been playing exceptional basketball and Talen Horton-Tucker, who's down there balling his tail off. Look, the Denver Nuggets lost in the offseason by not signing back Jeremy Grant. I thought that was a huge loss for them. He was the only guy, in my opinion, that could match up with LeBron James in some type of way of containing him. And when they lost him, a guy that's 6'10", long, athletic, able to keep LeBron in front of him and challenge him at the basket. Although LeBron did dominate that series, he still was the only guy that could really match up with LeBron to somewhat try to slow him down. So when I look at the Denver Nuggets, others, you look at Gary Harris, you look at Will Barton, both of those guys could play. But are they better than the Lakers role players? And the answer is hell no, Max. Hell no.
Well, to answer the question directly, I agree with you, Kendrick Perkins. My answer is no for one simple reason, far more simpler than everything you just articulated. And that is Jokic is such a key. And the one person capable of neutralizing anything he throws at you is Anthony Davis. Because Anthony Davis is on the Lakers, that is the nightmare for the Denver Nuggets, who rely so heavily on Jokic. If it was somebody other than just Jamal Murray, even though Barton and all of those brothers could play, if Jokic wasn't that pivotal to their success, I would feel differently. But because he is, that's why I don't consider them the threat, even that the Clippers are.
Look, Porter Jr., let me get back to Porter Jr. for a second. You're really like going past that pretty fast, Perk. His development, of course, it depends. He's 21 years old. He's coming off a back problem. That's the reason he went as low as he did, or he'd been higher up in the draft, right? So he misses the season, his rookie season because of a back injury. He comes back last year. He doesn't get a lot of touches, but when he touches the ball, you just said, he's a bucket, right? Now, you say he can't defend. A lot of guys come into the league, they can't defend. And after a while, they can. Especially, you bring up Talen Horton-Tucker, who is... If that dude, I mean, he looks like he's for real to me. I know it's early in the preseason. He's 20 years old. I think there's reason to believe that you're right. And if he's really a baller, forget it. Why are we even talking about this season? Lakers are going to kill everybody, right? But the same thing applies. The logic applies to Porter Jr., who was one of the hottest prospects in college and only didn't go even higher because of the back. If he gets more touches, if he develops on the defensive end, you're not just talking about a nice role player. You're talking about a guy with the potential to be part of an actual big three. Not like the Lakers tried to pretend Kuzma could be last year, but an actual big three. Like maybe what Phoenix has or something like that. That changes the equation, guys. If Jamal Murray continues to ascend to an MVP and you got two of those guys with him and Jokic and Porter's an all-star, they're live.
Yeah, but Max, you have two guys. One is the sixth man of the year, and one finished as the runner-up. Montrezl Harrell and Dennis Schroeder. And you can pick your poison. Any given night, either one of those guys are capable of going for 19 to 20 points a night. So that makes up their big three. And when you look at the additions in Wes Matthews, who was another hell of a pickup, we're not even talking about, I don't even know how we failed to mention Alex Caruso, who was a wild card, who could come in and also have big nights. Yep. The impact on the defensive end, coming in, being the engine, being the heart and soul, providing that spark off the bench. And Max, if you watch Talen Horton-Tucker play the game of basketball, it's night and day on the defensive end of what you're watching Michael Porter Jr. His tenacity, the way he's able to get through passing lanes, his grit, his grind. You can't teach that. That don't develop overnight. Either you have it in you or you don't.
Well, I'm not going to say anything against Talen Horton-Tucker. That dude shaped like that and he can play like that. That's wiggle for a wide body. That